Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour. Brought to you by The Sky Lounge and Tea, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Ale Hop Brewery Tours, and Jesse Moffitt Entertainment. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment Conversations and has been recognized by the Sioux Falls Stage Awards with a special distinction for promoting the arts. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Welcome, everyone, to more great conversations with the creatives. And today we get an extra special treat. Thankfully, the copyright cops won't be stopping some music that we have for you. We get to play in this, our 128th episode, as Beautiful Kingdom has given the show permission, well, since they have the copyrights and they're two of our guests. Two of their members, Nadia and Tyler, will be along later in the show with the always upbeat Apollonia Davalos. Coming up in a few minutes, April Van Leersburg of Van Arts Studios will be talking about their very special art show benefit Friday night as part of First Friday for the month of May. One of those artists donating a piece for the silent auction is Crystal Richards. Her medium of choice is alcohol ink painting. Interesting. But first,
time to grab your favorite beverage, lift it high, and toast it to being Thursday, a.k.a. Weekend Eve.
Hey, the weekend isn't around the corner, it's here!
So long, hump day in your frumpy way. We say hello to Thursdays with opening nights. The weekend is near and we can see the bright lights. Yes, Thursday, you're so hearty, we can't wait for Friday, so a day early, we start the party.
all right, lift 'em high. Of course, time of the day depends upon what type of glassware you might be lifting. But one many will be lifting will be something along the lines of a margarita or cerveza. So the Weekend Eve toast goes out to Cinco de Mayo, because it's today. Enjoy it, but please be responsible. I will, because I'm in a show tonight for Midtown Coffee Radio Hour. Maybe I'll put a little tequila or something in that coffee. Or at least maybe a cerveza after the show is over. By the way, doors open at 7 tonight at the back alley in the Commons of Augustana University. Tickets only $12. Hope to see you there. The Weekend Eve Toast has been brought to you by Ale Hop Brewery Tours. People are talking about how great it is using Ale Hop on their Facebook page. Here's what Tina had to say. Super fun and convenient. You can go out, have a good time with friends, and not have to worry about driving home. Best of all, it supports our locals. No matter what brewery in Sioux Falls is your favorite, Ale Hop Brewery Tours lets you and your friends choose any or all of the local breweries, plus a distillery. Book your private tours online, alehopbrewerytours.com. Again, that's alehopbrewerytours.com. If you're already out and about on the weekend, hop on a public tour. For more info, call 605-777-2183. That is 605-777-2183. Ale Hop Brewery Tours, where micro fans meet micro brews. Honorable mention. All right. I just had a great experience. An experience not just watching, but an experience being in a great theater for the Vertical Freedom documentary. Remember, we talked about this a couple months back as Steve Rausch and Colin McKenzie were here to talk about it because they were a couple of the producers of it. But seeing a major film production in the beautiful State Theater, knowing that you have friends and acquaintances that are producers and contributors, I tell you what, that's a great feeling. Plus, Sioux Falls in South Dakota can be very proud of the work that went into that movie because so many people in South Dakota were a part of it. You won't see them on screen. They were the ones that put the whole thing together. And by the way, they are working on getting to a streaming service in the near future. I hope so, because, man, that was a great experience, truly great experience. watching it. Coming up later, musicians Nadia and Tyler from the group Beautiful Kingdom, along with Apollonia Davalos. Up next, from Van Arts Studios, April Van Leersburg, along with artist Crystal Richards of Christ Style Art, on the Dave Holly Hour.
Hi, my name is Jesse Moffett, and I'm not a piano player. I'm a comic magician and hypnotist. I've been performing for over 20 years. I've performed at many events, corporate events, holiday parties, post-prom parties, graduation parties, state and county fairs, festivals, just about anything you can imagine. The funniest thing about the Magic Act is that I use a ton of audience participation, and that can make things really interesting. Put it down the front of your shirt. Stop being so, my hand won't follow. The best thing about the hypnosis show is that the volunteers and their imaginations really make it a blast.
Holy crap, dude, did you see what you just did? You could do that possibly to girls.
For booking information, go to Jesse Moffett Entertainment on Facebook. That's JESSEMOFFITT. Or call 605-929-0964.
Arts and entertainment lovers, you hit the mark. It's the Dave Holly Hour.
Welcome back, everybody. You know what I like to say. It's always a pleasure. And, sometimes I split that up and say, always a pleasure to have somebody returning to the show, or if it's a new guest, introducing you to a new guest. 2 for 1 this time around. Returning to the show from Van Art Studio, April Van Leersburg. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, anytime. You know that. You're on the short list now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it.
And then also joining us, first-time guest, Crystal Richards. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Very excited
Excellent.
to be participating in
Well,
this.
great to have both of you. And in terms of why we have you this time around, it's the fact that coming up Friday is another First Friday here in Sioux Falls, which means it's another showing at Van Arts.
It is.
Yes.
I'm super excited about this one. So it's a charity event, but it's also a silent auction. We have 72 pieces of art.
Ooh.
So we have this huge variety, and I think we're going to be able to appeal to any audience that walks in that door. But it's also a great charity. It's something I really believe in. So it's for the South Dakota Survivor Task Force Against Domestic Violence, Sexual Assault, and Sex Trafficking. And it's just really important to support this cause, and we hope everybody comes out.
No doubt about that. And this, it's always tough when you want to do something with a charity that's a kind of a tough issue.
Yes.
Not kind of a tough issue. It's definitely a tough issue.
Definitely.
But here's a way to at least, spread some light and for everybody to come together in the community.
Yeah,
and have them benefit from it.
Yep.
But also, everybody else that gets themselves a great piece of art is going to have a wonderful time with that, too.
And I have to tell you, there's some pieces in there that have a lot of value. So if you know your art and you come in and you're able to snag a couple pieces at a reasonable price, you just made a really good investment.
Right. And I'm guessing some of those might be from Crystal Richards.
She has one there.
Oh.
Yeah.
How many works did you put in for this?
What?
How many works did you put in for this?
Just one piece.
Just the one piece?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a big one.
I wasn't
Yeah.
sure, and I reached out when she posted that she was getting involved in that. I was like, oh, absolutely. I want to participate. Yeah. I want to contribute some way. It's an amazing organization to support and try to grab more awareness for it. And so I was like, I have this one really large piece. Is this too big, or are you looking for smaller pieces? And she's like, no, absolutely. Send us the large one. We'll appreciate anything we get. And I was excited to be able to help in this way.
But at least I'm guessing square footage wise, if you got 72 pieces in there, she's got quite a bit of real estate.
She has quite a bit of real estate. It's a big one, and it's beautiful.
Oh, I know. I can. I haven't seen it yet, but just from what I see on social media of what she puts together with very unique type of media, it is alcohol ink painting.
Yes.
How did you get started in it? Well, first of all, tell us exactly what is it?
Okay, so been creating for many, many years, and so I like to experiment with different mediums, and by just stumbling across late night perusing on TikTok, and I was like, what is this? It was a very fluid movable substance. And that's not necessarily what I've associated. I've worked with charcoals and acrylics and oils, and you manipulate them yourselves by brush and movement. And this alcohol ink, you can do it that way, but it is, you lay down layers of fluid, and with air movement, or tilting the piece, you create these different interesting angles and depths of these different pigments and colors. So if I'm looking for a navy, I have to put a lot of ink down. Otherwise, it gets thinned out and you see all the different the hues of that blue. So it's a really fascinating medium, and I love it so much. I just kind of went head over heels for it because it was just so different, and I hadn't seen many pieces like that.
Well, when I first got introduced to you and I saw some of your work and then started to follow your work, I sit there and look at it and go, man, that's great. And, first things were just, more like an abstract image to me. Mm-hmm. And then I see that you're able to do that with that particular style of working with a medium. And you've got, flowers, and you've got other things and so forth.
Absolutely.
How long did that part of the skill take to come around?
Well, I like to dedicate many hours a week for it. So when I say it just took a couple months, like some people, I have a full-time job, so a couple months doesn't seem that long, but I'm doing many hours a week just trying to practice. And part of that community will boast that this is a very challenging medium because it's fluid. It has its own mind. Humidity affects it. Temperatures affect it. Like everything affects it. And so when I started realizing investing different air movement techniques, like when I say invested, I started with a straw. And I was blowing the air.
I
through
remember
a
seeing
straw.
a video that you had done on that.
And then I moved to what you would see photographers have, like a lens cleaner, and it's a little puff ball. And I also saw it in the baby aisle where you suck boogers out. And I was like, that would have been a lot cheaper than getting the art version of this thing.
Have you thought of calling one of the paintings the booger catcher?
Maybe, if I got the right tone. That is definitely in the works to be done. And then I've added to a hair dryer, and now an airbrush kit. And I don't even load the alcohol in there. I just use the air compressor.
So you could actually go over to Staples or to Office Depot and get some of that compressed air.
Yes.
And just shoot that around
Absolutely.
with it?
To clean the air, the keyboards. Absolutely. That is a thing to use.
Do you use any brushes with it?
I do.
You do still use brushes. Okay.
Yeah. So
She had that one where it was flowers, and then did you use a brush for the stems?
No.
No, you used
that was
air.
all gravity.
Okay.
So my real start was realism, so I had to start incorporating brushes and stuff like that just because I was like, I wonder where I could go with this. And so I'll use paint brushes to add details and things that maybe I want more control over versus just air.
All right, so I have to ask you, do you just want to put a piece down on a labyrinth and just play with little levers and so forth to watch it flow?
I've thought about having one with ball bearings, and just putting my ink down and have a couple of weighted ball bearings and tilt it back and forth and see where the rolling goes with that.
There's so many avenues you could take.
Yes.
And I'm just thinking of all the different appliance type things and so forth, and little knick-knack stuff. And I guess it kind of reminds me a little bit of when you go to Las Vegas, there's guys on the street and they've got a pot and a pan and an anvil or something, and they keep spray painting around it, and all of a sudden in 5 minutes here's this beautiful night scheme and so forth. It's
Absolutely.
How'd that happen?
I have one of those in my house because I was just like, first he had some tinfoil, and then he had some cardboard, and then pretty soon this really elaborate scene happened.
We should let the people know that we are recording this at the Source in downtown Sioux Falls, so you're going to hear some ambient noises from time to time, but we're still having a fun time. We don't even edit that out because we like having a conversation here, and that's what we're doing. Is we're talking with April Van Leersburg and Crystal Richards as we're talking about art. Crystal's a particular style with using alcohol ink as a painting, Do you consider it a painting since it's ink?
Yes.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of had to struggle with thinking that paintings had to be on a canvas, and that's not it at all. I mean, I think about my great grandmother. She did all of her painting on cardboard and house paint because they're so poor. I mean, you got to think that was in the 1800s. And we still have one of her tiny little things that was all done in blue tones from house paint and on cardboard. And it's no less a painting than if something was done on synthetic paper.
Right.
You know, it's not necessarily what the materials were. It's the value it brings to your wall and how it makes you feel about it that makes it art. And calling it a painting, regardless if you use charcoals or pencils or acrylics, it's still painting.
Yep. So we're going to come back to you, Crystal, because there's so much more I want to talk about that. Plus, a little teaser here. She has one of the greatest names for her art business. But April, back to you. Let's talk more about the benefit coming up on Friday then as part of First Friday.
Yes.
Doors will open at what time at the studio?
Yes, so it's going to be from 5 to 9 p.m. again, like it always is. We are just really, really hoping we can pull out the crowd. I think people are ready to get out. We're ready for the weather to change and stay permanently warm and get some stuff going on in Sioux Falls. So I'm hoping we can get everybody down there and raise a ton of money for this cause.
Right, yeah, great cause. And now this is your second benefit in a row for a First Friday.
It is, yeah.
And
it's tough
first
on the
one
purse
went
strings, but
well?
worth it.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one went great.
Excellent.
You know, they were that was for Dakota Abilities, and they were so excited and honored and felt so special that they were part of that. None of them had done anything like that. You know, and the families came down and they were so proud. There was a lot of hugging and just a lot of excitement.
What a beautiful way to connect them to the community, because I think you can feel very removed to situations you're not familiar with that might make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was great. And we raised some good money, and I was just really happy to be a part
Excellent.
of it.
And so what are you looking forward to out of this one?
You know, I just think how fun is it to have 72 different styles of art? I mean, that's exciting. It's so fun. And, you know, all the pieces, every single one was donated. I mean, the generosity of the artists in this town really blew me away. And I'm just so thankful and grateful. So
what all are we going to see in 72 pieces?
Oh my goodness. I mean, we have every style you can think of, lots of abstract. We've got realism. I mean, you name it, we have it. There's even some types you might put in a kitchen, but we also have some really big names. We've got a Rando original. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. That's probably a $2,000 piece, original signed in there. Somebody's going to take that home for a steal.
Absolutely.
We got David C. in there, who is also a super well-known artist. Jamie Bauer's work. We have a Paul Schilder print that is the 5th out of only 100 ever made. I mean, there's some, and all the artists around town that you guys are probably familiar with, a lot that have shown with me already. So it's just really exciting. I'm just pumped.
Yeah, photography and
we've got some
and everything
photography
else.
there too. We
any
don't
jewelry
have any,
or
we don't have any jewelry
no
or
jewelry.
sculpture this time. I'd like to do more of that this year, so we'll have to find some people that are interested in doing that. Now, Crystal does cups and things. I have a fabulous set at my home.
Really?
Yeah, and they're really cool. So we're hoping to start bringing those into the shows.
I kind of like that tagline, cups and things.
Yeah.
I might have to write that
cups and
down.
things.
Yeah. So, and I would love to find somebody that does, a lot of sculpture and so forth. I've talked to a couple, and we haven't made it happen so far, but I think sculpture would be great too.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what we get going for
All
this
right.
coming
Well,
year.
looking forward to it again.
Yeah.
Thankfully, have Friday night off.
Yeah. And Crystal has vowed to keep bringing her cups and things.
Cups and
My
things?
cups and things, yeah.
Okay.
So that she's going to start being more of a regular at the shows.
I'm excited
Yeah,
because
awesome.
I love your concept for the studio, and I want to be able to help support you, and if I can sell stuff, it helps you
It's a
and
win-win.
gets my
Exactly.
name out there.
Win-win.
It is a win-win. And
Yeah.
it's locals supporting locals, which is
True.
amazing. I
Yes.
always love supporting
Yes.
South Dakota, Sioux Falls, local,
Yep.
you name it. I love it.
Dave knows what I always say. Don't go shopping at Home Goods for your art.
That's right.
Yeah.
Support the people around here that are making it.
Yeah, the people that are working hard to because so many people forget that there are full-time artists
Yeah, absolutely.
in this community, and on the art scene, also on the entertainment side.
Yep.
And, these people bust their humps to present something to you that is of such high quality.
Yeah.
Robin Byrne from Sioux Empire Community Theater, that's now Premier Playhouse, is resigning and leaving. But one of the things that he really strived on doing as his time as executive director was to bump up the quality. And it definitely has happened. And you just go to anything in town, and you're going to find amazing productions. You're going to find amazing art. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's this thing on Phillips Avenue called the Sculpture Walk that you can take in.
Yeah.
And all the different places and pieces now that are available to take a look at. And yes, to buy. Yeah. Because that's what we want you to do. And in this case, not just to buy, but also to help benefit a great organization. All right, so we're going to swing back once again over here. Crystal now. So I said I wanted to talk about your name, and this is actually like the second podcast today that you've recorded, correct?
Yes, yeah, my second podcast.
And
of
apparently
the day.
I'm not that original to ask, how'd you get well, first of all, tell people what your art business name is.
Cry Style Art.
Okay.
It's the first three letters of my name for Cry, and then the second word is Style, which is just really adding an extra Y to my uniquely spelt name.
Okay.
I knew that my spelling of the name Crystal is uncommon, and I can thank my mother for being a Dynasty fan and getting the spelling from one of the dramatic characters there. And
my talk to text never gets it right.
Ever. And I'm used to it, and I'm totally okay with it. But so I didn't necessarily want my name associated to my art business. And as I was telling you earlier, in high school, I did a lot of volunteering, and I was at one of these booths, and there was a guy that might have seemed kind of sweet on me, and he saw my name tag, and at glance, just started calling me Cry Style, and I just thought he was being silly, trying to stand out with quirkiness. And he's like, "You spell it like this," and he spelt it out, and I was like, "You think my name is two separate words. Cry Style." And I was like, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
And, quick little notes from my mom. She would only just write the first three letters of my name, which is Cry. And so I always toyed with just that as like a tagline, but through just Cry Style is just always stuck, and I liked it, basically.
Well, it's one of those that it pops off the page, too, when you read it.
Yeah.
Because you glance, that makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's her style of art, Crystal's style, and so forth.
Absolutely.
So I love that.
I felt like it was a good wordplay.
Yeah, and now April's giving you cups and things.
Cups and things.
Yeah,
Cry Style.
Yeah, Cry
Style.
Style, cups and things. So tell us more about the cups and things.
So with the alcohol ink, it goes on non-porous substrate. So I couldn't use the typical canvas or paper. And so I'm like, what can I use to create that's not just synthetic paper? And then so I started experimenting with glass. And then glass led me to ceramics. And then I started decorating coffee mugs and things like flower vases or coasters. And just started decorating that and trying to seal them and preserve them. And I like saving things from the landfill and repurposing things. That's always been a thing for me, always, is repurposing things. And I felt repurposing or finding discarded coffee mugs and making them beautiful again and putting them back in someone's shelf was important to me. Same with you see tons of flower vases that some sweetheart probably got on Valentine's Day, and it's just your standard clear vase. And I was like, you know what? Why not make that just a centerpiece?
Give it some life.
Yeah. And maybe if you got a standard bouquet of flowers, you just I like this beautiful vase because it's pretty, and you pull it out time and time again. So leading into the things.
All right. So are we going to, see the marketing, Cry Style, and then cups and things,
Absolutely.
a subsidiary of?
absolutely.
Okay.
Why not? Pretty soon I'll figure out how to put it on scarves, my beautiful patterns, and start working with wallpapers and fabric designs.
Right. But as you were mentioning repurposing then, April, obviously that's, something that maybe 50 years ago people didn't think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then,
Yeah.
Probably over the past, maybe quarter century at best.
Yep.
It's really become something to be able to do. And that's such a great thing, that it helps on saving on the landfills, saving the earth and so forth, but still yet provides us yet another venue for art.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the neat thing. I think that there's so many ways, Crystal touched on this too, is that there's so many different ways to do art. It doesn't have to be on the standard canvas. And that is actually the trend in art that I'm seeing, is that people are using all different pieces of wood and painting right on that.
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
mean, the options are endless, and it really mixes it up and makes it cool and versatile and different, and people want something that's different, which is why they shouldn't shop at Home Goods.
Exactly, because you're not going to find mixed media there.
No, you're not. Yeah. So I love it.
Crystal, what got you into art in the beginning?
Well, I think it's because I was so bored on the farm that I had to occupy my time that wasn't throwing hay bales around. No, I took to it naturally. Several generations of artistic people in my family. My mother, my grandmother, her mom, my mom's brother. He was really into carving and sculpting out of wood and stuff. And so I just took to it naturally. My two brothers are also artistically inclined, but I was the only one that enjoyed it. I do believe my one brother probably would have been more talented than me, because he would just sketch something and I thought it would be great. And he's like, I should go help Dad. And where I was like, no, give me hours of just coloring and drawing and sketching. And so I think just by sheer volume of time I put in my art made me slightly better than my one brother that just took to it naturally,
Right.
but has no time or care for it.
At what point did you say, this is something I want to do, though, more than just a hobby?
Well, probably at 17, when I had a fellow art student, they didn't have their art piece done in time, and so I might have sold him a piece that looked like his and made some money off of that. And so
See, I always had to pay people to do my homework,
And so, and I got some grief from another mutual friend. He's like, you can do much better than that. I said, I can do much better than that, but this person can't do much better. I had to do a piece
had to do it at that level.
I had to do a piece that looked convincing for his quality and level of artistic skills.
And sometimes that takes more skill than doing what you can do well.
Yeah. Well, no, that one was pretty quick. It was pretty easy.
Okay.
So yeah, since 17, I've been selling artwork. So few decades.
All right. April, you know the drill at the end, and I pretty well know your answer by heart now. You like playing volleyball.
I do.
Yeah.
I love playing volleyball. I played
And
twice this past week.
You did?
And it's outside
Outside
sand volleyball,
already?
and it was cold.
I can imagine.
goodness.
Yeah.
One of our first game on Wednesday was 9-10, and it was freezing. Oh, my. But I wouldn't miss it. So I'm too old to play, but I just keep playing.
Oh, you're not too old to play it.
No, definitely not.
All right. So, Crystal, typically it starts off with one question, and depending upon how that is answered, it goes to a second.
Okay.
The first being, when you're not part of the arts and entertainment scene, what do you like to be entertained by?
Oh, mindless social media. I don't want to think about anything if I'm not on top of being like a parent, chauffeuring or doing art. I want to really tune out and not have to have any responsibilities.
The internet's great for that.
Right? And that's how I stumbled across Alcohol Inc. So I think it worked out.
Yeah, that it did. No doubt about that. And then, of course, any other hobbies?
Yes, I have to be constantly busy, so I actually do repurpose a lot of furniture. I found a beautiful shaped couch in a questionable part of town that needed that thing completely sterilized. But it was kind of a mid-century modern couch, and it was tufted, and it had beautiful carved legs and arms, and I painted the upholstery and with the help of my husband, he helped me restructure the bottom so you weren't going to fall out. So I like to repurpose furniture, and I'm pretty handy at deciding this wall needs to go. And so I do a lot of
DIY stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I can tape in mud, but I don't like to tell people I know how to sheetrock, so I will do my own sheetrock. Thank you. Don't call me up for that.
We've got that on the digital recording now.
That I don't want to work for other people with sheetrock.
All right, but besides being at Van Art Studio then, what else can people do to get a hold of you, to find some of that wonderful alcohol ink painting?
Or cups and things, too.
Or cups and things. Facebook, it's cry-style space art.
With a K.
With a K, yeah. KRY-STYLE space art. I had to kind of manipulate that to be my last name.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Instagram, it's also KRY .style.art.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, people, here's your chance to take a look at it. And I realize that, the show is just a day away now. But take a look.
Yeah.
Get an idea as to what you can come see. Because she's got the biggest piece there, apparently.
She has a big one.
She has a big one.
There
is one bigger?
That's bigger, yes.
She's only got the second amount of real estate?
There's one that's massive.
Oh,
yeah.
massive. I can't
I'm
wait.
excited to see that.
I'm looking forward to that. And April, let's finish off then with just reminding people what this benefit is for and what time and everything is going to take place.
Yep, it is a charity silent auction where you get to bid on pieces. It's for it's to benefit the South Dakota Survivor Task Force against domestic violence, sexual abuse, and sex trafficking. So just fabulous cause. They are putting together a toolkit that will be available through 211. So when people call with those specific issues, they have all the resources available to them. Because that's kind of 211 is
right.
Can be just informational, but we need somewhere and some resources for people that are going through this, and this will be an organized way for it to be right there for them to get them the help they need.
All right.
So it's 120 North Phillips from 5 to 9 p.m., and we're located between 8th and 9th on Phillips.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. Thank you both so much. Appreciate your time. And we'll be back with more of the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XO Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or exokairos.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XO Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails on South Minnesota Avenue in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony provide professional care for your hands and feet, whether you just want the basics or an extra special look with added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself too. Quality Nails. Call for an appointment, 605-334-1463.
Hot? No. Cute? No. Ruggedly handsome? Yes. Once again, here's Dave Holly.
All right. Welcome back to the show. The laughter you heard on that is someone I knew would enjoy that jingle. And that would be Apollonia Davalos, who has been on the show before and is so kind to not only bring herself and her presence and have fun, but to bring a couple other great people along with you today. Apollonia, how are you?
I'm amazing.
Well, yes, I know that. And I'm so forgetful. I try to take that Prevagen every day, but I don't always remember it. I forgot to bring my Sioux Falls Woman magazine that you are on the cover of.
Oh, my God.
Because I was going to ask for your autograph.
There'll be time. You are the best. Thank you for your support.
Oh, well, thank you for everything you do to bring arts together and to bring artists and creators and creatives together as well, which you have done today.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and introduce us
to a couple members of Beautiful Kingdom.
Of course, ladies and gents, get ready, okay? Today we have 2 of the 3 members of Beautiful Kingdom that have landed in our city, who is welcoming, inviting us into the beautiful kingdom they create through their music, through their wisdom, through their love, through their joy. They radiate all of that into one show when you meet them upon every encounter. But their music is unlike anything you've ever heard, and it will stand the test of time. It will make you dance, it'll make you cry, it'll make you fall in love with a stranger, just all of the things. It is true magic and the definition of beauty.
Oh my goodness
Thank you
gracious.
so much.
All right. So we have Nadia. Yes. How are you?
I'm lovely, thank you. How are you?
If I were any better, I'd be twins. I'd get twice as much done. There'd be fewer headaches, less stress. I tell you, it would just work well. I'm into cloning. Yeah. So what do you do in the band then?
What do I do?
Or what don't you do?
I don't play piano yet, but I will soon.
Okay.
But I have been singing, playing ukulele, and playing the drums as well.
Awesome. Tyler, how about yourself?
I sing, I play guitar, drums, little keys, a little bass, and yeah, then I write songs. Well, we all write songs.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. So how did the 3 of you connect then?
We connected through mutual interest. I mean, we all wanted to be in a band from years before we met. I mean, I think from a very young age, we all wanted to play music with the right group of people and do things in a way that was bigger than we were, to do music in a way that was bigger than we were. It was really a series of serendipitous coincidences, the story of how we all met.
That's true.
And you two met on another level as well, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
You are a couple.
We are a couple.
We have been together for almost 5 years now.
We are lovers.
I know the soundbite I'm using for promo on this one. That's excellent. Oh, but what can someone expect if they come out to see your band and you're on stage? I know you've been on the Levitt, so what is an experience for the crowd?
A lot of variety, a lot of heart-centered, we'll call it heart-centered music that you can really live inside, that you can have as the soundtrack to your life. We feel like all music is what am I trying to say? We feel like the music that will stand the test of time comes from people. You know, though technology changes and all that, there's something that will never change. Right. It's that person-to-person connection, that human connection.
Yeah, we have a lot of styles of music, and some people would say, like marketing people might say, like, you can't do that. You got to choose one of these styles.
Right.
But I feel like who we are and the energy that runs through all the songs, it links them together. So even if you have one funk song and then one beautiful romantic song and then one folk song, somehow it just works.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to play a little of your music today. You've given me 4 choices, but I'm giving you the choice. To start off our set, if you were coming up on stage, you want to get the crowd going, what are we doing?
Home Anywhere I Go.
All right, let's hear Home Anywhere I Go. And we'll leave the microphones on. You can talk, you can sing along, whatever you like.
Top of the mountain.
I am home in the valley so low. I am home
when I'm crossing the river. I am home when there's nowhere to go. When there's nowhere to go.
It's one of those songs when Matthew said, do you want to sing on the song with me? Because he wrote it. Yeah. This is one of those songs I wish I had written. So that's G part of it.
me drumming. I'm an average drummer.
Well, it's a better than average sound.
We all thank you. We all actually auditioned. Like, who's gonna play drums on this thing? And we all gave it a go, and everybody agreed. No, Tyler's got the best feel on this song. So.
And you have 3, so when you vote, you can't have a tie.
That's right.
That's true.
3's a magic number. That
In the grave where they'll lay me, where they will lay me down.
Yeah, but that worked out because you're the one who actually plays it on the drums live.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Make it work. That's the name of the game.
This would be a perfect soundtrack song, you know, for all those movie makers out there.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm alone. And the earth and the sky are my friends. And I serve the God of my heart. I am filled with a joy without end, with a love that's without end.
That's something to live for.
I am home anywhere I go. I am home anywhere I go. I am home anywhere I go. I am home anywhere I go.
Very nice. And you know what else is great about that song?
What?
You have the copyright to it, so I can play it on my podcast.
That's true.
I don't often get to do this fun part. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
great to have you
we're
along,
delighted.
and we'll have a couple more songs probably to play. But I want to continue. First of all, so did Matthew write that one?
Yes, he did.
He did. Okay. Has he said what the inspiration was? What got that one on paper and then onto a track?
Let's see. I'm not sure he exactly said it. I think he wrote that one in more of a lighthearted place, from what I remember, because he's had to write a lot of songs from a tougher place since he's been through a lot. He's been through some chronic illness, which he's fought very hard. And this one, I think he was just actually feeling, joy and feeling like he was on the way to getting better. And I think the sun was coming out, probably summer. I'm sorry, Matthew, if that's not true, but I think I remember him saying
I think that's
that.
what he said, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right
on. But I really relate to that song too. And because Matthew's just this person, when I met him, and I met him on the beach in California, we met and it was like we were family right away, and we were talking, and we both like, we can both be introverted, but we also like meeting people and just feeling at home and helping people feel at home anywhere we go, just finding the love, and no matter who you talk to on the street. And yeah,
very good. Great song.
It's a great song. I've done step dancing, and tap is my forte, so I hear that music and the beat, and it just makes my feet want to take off. You know? Like everyone join hands, circle up, and we're going to stomp for joy and make home where we are. So I'm just honored to have you play that song and then have this place be a place of home for you.
And Apollonia, you met them through one of your gigs that you do.
Yes, at the Levitt.
Working with the Levitt, so
Yes, they're
forth.
dancing.
That's true.
Dance and music brought us together.
It wasn't quite a beach, though, was it?
No, but it might as well have been. It
With
was
how
so
hot it was?
joyous. Dancing with you, oh my gosh, girl.
She is fun to dance with, isn't
So
she?
much fun.
You know, she's even danced with Santa Claus.
Oh,
We are in the presence of Santa right here.
it's true. Oh, wow.
Come Christmas, everyone. We do have a Sioux Falls Santa, and he's an amazing singer and dancer.
Oh, well,
Have
thank
you ever do you do the Santa? Have you ever done that? Wow.
25 years.
Oh my gosh, I'm so ready for
25 years.
Oh my gosh, I'm so ready for the next winter. This winter.
You got it.
Yes.
Yep. Let me know.
This Christmas, get ready, joy like you've never experienced. You know,
And except for the Saturday night before Christmas, I am booked along with Elizabeth Hunstead for Right Here.
All right.
This is becoming a tradition now that Santa comes on to sing a set with Elizabeth Hunstead the
That's
Saturday
awesome.
night before Christmas.
at the one and only Our Wine Bar.
Our
Thank you,
Wine
Our
Bar,
Wine Bar.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Ricardo, the man that put the R in Our Wine Bar.
Yes.
So first time you saw him, what'd you think?
When I first saw,
Well, first you were dancing with them,
Oh,
but then they
yes.
came back. They
Yes.
played at the Levitt,
they
correct?
did. They played
Yeah.
at the Levitt. So, funny story. They played, and I was looking forward to this moment my entire summer. And then I learned about the Sioux Falls Stage Awards, and I had to participate and attend in Sioux Falls Stage Awards. And it was happening the exact same night as their concert performance.
Sorry, I got a picture with her.
Yeah. And it was a big night happening around for so many artists in this city. And so it broke my heart to be split. And I could not see them
See?
live on the Levitt stage.
That's why we need twins.
But it
That's
was
exactly
okay.
right.
She was there in spirit, and
I
she
definitely was.
messaged, and it was recorded really well. So
Oh, yeah.
everybody was able to
That's
watch.
what a great deal that is now that you can see that.
And they just came through to the screen, you know, with their music
Yeah.
and their dancing. And Nadia is a force. She is just amazing force that pulls you in. You just experience such freedom around you and just a freeing of selves. Like really get outside of your box and just let yourself go. And she exemplifies that. So you see her, she invites you in, and it's just radiant. It's radiant.
Wow, thank you for the reminder of that I can do that and represent that. Thank
You know, that is something, isn't it? When you think of being an entertainer, a creative, and so forth. A lot of us will say, you know, we don't have egos and that we, you know, are in it for the joy and so forth.
Yeah.
But you also have to know and be told sometimes what you're doing is worth it.
It's so true. That feedback is so important. A lot of people really get down on themselves, and we slip into that all the time.
We do.
Creating anything, if you want to do it at a really high level, it can be very difficult and very trying. And the trials can really make you question if am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? You know, it's part of the process.
Am I making a difference?
Am I making a difference?
What do you feel on stage? What comes about emotionally for you?
It's a mix. I feel there's a feeling of liberation, and there's also a feeling of really wanting to be there for the crowd to help them have a good time, you know?
Yeah.
To help facilitate that.
Yeah. And do you get it sometimes where, you know, you're performing and just all of a sudden everything is coming to a head naturally, and it's like you really don't have to work at a thing?
It happens sometimes, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's always...
sometimes those magic moments happen. But I find that it's not always consistent. It depends on a lot of factors.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's the sound. Sometimes it's, you know, who your crowd is. Sometimes
you're outdoors
having
and it's mosquitoes.
You're having an off day. There's mosquitoes, yeah.
Yeah. I do hope to have more and more of that as time goes on, and, you know, we can be vessels for that freedom and love to move through. I do think it will happen more often. I know when we did Levitt, there was a moment where a kid was blowing bubbles and they were flying by, and at first I had nerves, and then they kind of left my body. I stopped shaking because at first I was shaking, and then suddenly I just felt like we're doing it. We're here. This is the kingdom. It's the beautiful kingdom. I feel heaven on earth, and everything became one. You know, the nature, the sky, the trees, the band, the people, the kids, the bubbles. So yeah,
that was pretty.
I have
cool.
a great story to tell about bubbles.
Oh
yeah. You know, I've already told you as we're recording that I need to get myself up to Flanders tonight for a 10-year-old. She is in the 5th grade, so it's middle school, choral and band. But her father is from Britain, and when she was about 4 or 5, maybe, they went over to Britain for his sister's wedding. They stayed 3 weeks. When she got home, she wanted to come see Grammy and me and stay with us for the weekend. And she'd played pretty hard, and we're outside. And my wife says, "Harper, you have to take a bath."
you've been playing and you smell. And she was kind of reluctant. Then Grammy says, but we did get you new bubbles. And she had just a little bit of the British accent that came through. You got new bubbles?
Bubbles. That's great.
So bubbles are great, aren't they?
They
No
are.
doubt about that.
We all feel like kids around them too.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Do you feel like kids on stage?
That's a really interesting question. We feel like kids when we're recording and hanging out together a lot. I think there are moments where we feel like children on stage, but there's also, wow, that's a really good question. It's like kids, but then also your higher self, which is this kind of like eternal self at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more than one thing.
I feel like that childlike. I think that's where the liberation thing comes from. Is feeling this childlike wonder and awe at being a part of anything great at all, and then also this this sense of responsibility that's also there.
Right.
That's like,
yeah, you still have to be a professional.
You get that, and I'm also I'm on stage, like I'm exemplifying something. I better do a good job. I better be a good example here, because there are people watching and people who have that. I feel like there's too much of people who are bearing that responsibility irresponsibly, and I don't think the world needs more of that. I think the world needs more of people who are doing it responsibly. And
it's true, and it's not to criticize. There are a lot of amazing musicians out there on the front lines and the radio, but it is true that, when you have a voice like that, what are you going to sing about? What are you going to share? And music is about emoting and just sharing what you feel. That's a part of what music's about. But then at the same time, it's important to bring a good message.
And not bending for others, because I know that I just read Dolly Parton and James Patterson's book, Run, Rose, Run. And it's about a young person trying to break in, and she sticks to her roots all throughout the story, not bending to play what would be popular, and not listening so much to directors and producers, but going with the gut.
Definitely. It's a big one, and I think a tough one sometimes, to be honest, where we're like not wanting to please people, but wanting to bring a message that's going to move a lot of people and bring healing and bring joy, but then also make sure that we get that other individual aspect. Are we each getting to express ourselves in an authentic way?
And what would express ourselves next on our playlist?
It's up to you if you want. Here's an example of that.
Keep Me.
Sure.
Keep Me. All right. Here is Keep Me.
Yes.
Guess what, little baby? Come here. I like it when we go to the store. I like it when you give me some more.
It's playtime.
Yes.
You know we're gonna do it for sure. I like it when we go to the zoo.
I don't know what that means.
I'm loving everything.
We finally did that. We finally went to the zoo last month.
I like it
Sioux
when
Falls
the
Zoo. It's amazing.
Is it?
Yeah, they had monkeys. They had all kinds of stuff. It
Well,
was
it's
amazing.
great, at least. Great Plains.
The monkeys were so.
Oh yes.
You got to keep me, baby.
Okay, so the first song I was feeling a little Celtic. Now I'm feeling a little Prince.
Yes, Prince definitely came through. We kind of wrote this as a fun, just lighthearted joke thing, and then it started to become like, okay, this is becoming a real song here.
Another way of keeping it real.
Yeah, we started playing at the end of our set, and people would start dancing, and we were having fun, and we were like, well, we should take this song more seriously. It's a very serious song.
Oh, it's so groovy.
We worked for it, that's for sure. Yeah. We worked to get this groove. It wasn't easy. We had to practice and record a lot of takes.
The only thing you got to do is keep me, baby.
Yes.
You got to keep me, baby. Not trying to be creepy, baby.
I can see you singing this song, and there's like 500 people right behind you, you know? We're all just jamming, walking down downtown Sioux Falls.
Sure.
Everyone together.
I saw that for another video. I guess it would work for a lot of songs. Here's my mouth trumpet or guitar solo. Not sure.
You can run for nothing, but you will feel the fire. Or you can join the choir, but all that I require is you keep me, baby.
I think recording those choir voices is one of my favorite parts. That's us. That's real Matthew Cincinnati choir. Matthew ripping it up on the drums. Okay, so I remember we were jamming this in the room, and then at this part, I was like, drop solo! Everybody drop it! Because I just want to dance. And Matthew starts like ripping it up and doing the 70s thing. And I'm like, again! Another measure! Keep it going! And sometimes people are like, this part's too long. And I'm like, If you want to dance, it's not too long.
Absolutely.
Just edit it for radio if you must.
Yeah.
This part will stay on the album.
Oh, here come the seals.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Always room for a little silliness.
Big sense of responsibility here. Okay. That's the message. The seals have a voice too.
From Beautiful Kingdom and the Seals. That is Keep Me.
Yes, yes.
Hey man, if Bruno Mars can do it and all those guys, well, we can too.
Exactly, exactly.
You know, by the way, as we continue here, speaking with Beautiful Kingdom, Nadia and Bryce, Tyler.
That's cool, Bryce.
Because he's got Tyler Bryce, you know, Bryce is his last name.
Kinda like
and
that.
I just met a Bryce.
Secret.
Yeah.
Bryce is actually my middle name.
Oh, okay.
wow.
Bryce, yeah. My last name is really kind of difficult to pronounce.
Not to worry, I know the situation. Because there's only one way to get people to remember how my real last name is pronounced.
Really?
Yeah. It rhymes with Hitler.
Oh.
And I just don't like to go there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Holly's my mother's nickname. Yeah.
Bless.
Plus, it's a great little tagline that I have. Yeah. Remember, for me, every day is a Holly day.
That's right. That's right. We all live
And
that motto.
we try to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that this woman certainly has. Apollonia Davalos, you are just such a joy and inspiration in the creative community here in Sioux Falls. And so glad that you brought these along. And I do know that when you sent, and when we talked even about this and setting this up, you said Tyler does some imitations.
He sure does.
Impressions?
One or two.
Okay.
Tyler is a one-man show.
What's your top one?
My Michael Jackson. Is
Let's
really,
hear it.
really close.
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right.
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. I love you.
All right.
so
How many
cute.
different voices do you do?
At least 100.
At least 100. Wow.
Yeah.
At one point, I did about 75.
That's
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah, and that's a lot of fun. But
It wears on the voice though. After
it does.
after a while.
Well, especially if you sing Louis Armstrong at karaoke.
Sure. Totally.
That's usually the last song of the evening. then.
Yes. Yes.
Dave, you do voices. What's your favorite?
Well, I love Louis Armstrong.
Mhm.
I see trees of green, red roses to. But there are a lot of
Beautiful.
them that I really love. And the first one I ever did, if people remember it, 1972, I was in 3rd grade, and I imitated W.C. Fields. He was a long-standing vaudeville performer and so forth, known to be a cheat when he played poker, and had a big bulbous nose because I think maybe he enjoyed an adult beverage or 1,000. But he was, yes, W.C. Fields. I went to Philadelphia once, but it was closed.
That's awesome.
And then at that time, this is aging me then, the president was Tricky Dick.
Mm-hmm.
My fellow Americans, I am not a crook. My mother was a saint, but no one will ever write a book about her. And then, well, of course, Ron Reagan. I loved Ronnie because, well, he was actually, there's a story in our family that he wanted to have a blind date with my aunt, and she turned him down because he was just a radio announcer. Yeah. Oh, okay. The top one, though, is, but I can only do just like one phrase, basically. Here we go. Raggy, Scooby-Doo-Doo.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Ghost roast.
That's amazing.
That is very well done, sir.
That's really,
Thank
really
you.
good.
Yeah, so that's my extent of it. But the reason I don't do like a show anymore and so forth is because, most of the people that I imitate are dead. Yeah. And there's just, so I applaud you for doing 100 different voices because I'm guessing you have, contemporaries.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as the older guys, a lot of people still want to see those.
True.
That's what I've found.
Yeah.
Especially
so when I want to go to my mom's assisted living, then I'll pull out one or two at that point. So do you do some of those imitations while you're performing as well?
We have done some stuff in the band, like a few little pieces, not a whole lot.
The Louis Armstrong, actually.
Yeah, we
Really?
did a Louis Armstrong
I'm sorry, you
piece.
probably do it better, don't you? I
You
know.
both do great.
Yeah, we both do great.
Well, we could do a duet of it sometime.
We totally could. The Doolin
Yes, please.
Lewis is.
Yeah. Doolin Louie.
That'd be epic.
That would be, I'd be front row.
Yeah.
Front row.
Okay, well, we'll have to get the karaoke track and come back and do it.
I've got it. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. All right. Man,
No,
like
not
Ready
on
to
this
go.
right now. But, yeah.
Yeah, but I was fortunate to travel and do that for a number of years, and I did it mostly on cruise ships on the major cruise lines, and then COVID hit and it changed everything.
Right.
The cruises shut down, but it's all right. It worked out. We were already going with the band. We'd been going for several months at that point, and so we were able to just focus on recording and
Yeah, kind of
building what we're
Nadia,
building.
you do any voices?
I kind of do, but I can't think of what I do right now, other than like, I like cartoons. I can't think of any voices I do.
Cartoons are always great.
But like, on the spot, I don't even want to try.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll let you buy with that. But
We'll leave it to Dave and Tyler, as the professional voice
But I do.
actors.
Oh, I do. Am I allowed to sing like a line of Disney on here?
Yes.
Okay, I do love. I want to sing for Disney. That's one of my biggest dreams.
okay,
I
we
wanna
just
be-
won't use any background or anything. So
Yeah, okay. I wanted to
fire
be a
away.
cartoonist growing up. I love, love, love. So I love singing from Beauty and the Beast. Little town, it's a quiet village every day, like the one before. Little town full of little people waking up to say bonjour, 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 bonjour. There goes the baker with his tray like always. Anyway, and so on and so
Awesome.
forth.
Yes. That's fantastic.
Yes. So not an exact imitation, but the
No,
Disney
but still,
princess
yeah.
voice.
You've got
Okay,
it. You've got
excellent.
it.
Thank you.
There's an audience for that here, FYI.
Yay.
Oh,
we love
my.
Sioux Falls. We come here every week, and we want to visit more. We want to get more involved in the community. So
Definitely,
this
yeah.
is a great start. This
Yeah,
is so
and
cool.
can definitely see you working weekends at different, especially the breweries in town.
Yeah.
And I've got an in on a couple of them. So
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
This is the
we'll pass that
man
along.
right here. I do say Dave Holly is the heart of Sioux
Oh,
Falls.
you are way too
Oh,
kind.
wow.
I
way,
truly
way too kind,
believe
dear.
that if there was a catalyst that truly connects every individual, especially every creative in different mediums across the board in this city. Dave is at the epicenter
Awesome. Well, thank you.
of that.
Thank you.
Everyone
Thank you.
needs,
I appreciate
everywhere
that.
needs someone like that. So that's awesome.
And yeah, I just don't have enough money to buy one of the ads for, voted local best 18 years in a row. That's just a little dig. Sorry.
No, don't apologize, Dave. Not at all.
They haven't even added podcasting as a category.
Well, let's get that going.
Yeah,
we're on
have to.
task. We are
All
on
right.
task.
Well, it's been such a great time. We played 2. You've gave me 4, but we got time for one more to play us out. But first, the usual questions that my guests always get. Apollonia's been on before, so we've talked plenty of times. Tyler, when you're not part of the entertainment scene, what do you like to be entertained by?
Well, I love to play video games.
Yes, I knew it.
It's not a habit that I'm particularly proud of, but and I definitely put way too many hours of my life into it.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
She's proud of me. That's all that matters. Not everyone up above may be proud of me. All the video games I've played, but yeah, I love to play video games. I love the great outdoors.
Yeah.
Absolutely love the great outdoors.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's what makes the video games okay.
Daddy, how about you?
I love to do yoga. I love to teach yoga. I'm proud of this. I love ASMR. I don't know if anybody knows what that is here.
Renaissance.
Close.
Oh,
but
okay.
not. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed now. Okay, so on YouTube, so there are these videos of women and men do it, but these comforting videos where people like kind of gently speak or whisper to you. I know that sounds kind of weird, but some people are really, really calmed by this, and they can speak loving things to you and make soft sounds, and it actually triggers a response in your spine that can create relaxation, euphoria, and actually help with pain management. And then some people are just really annoyed by it. But I love
it.
ASMR.
Wow.
I have a channel too.
Show us a little ASMR.
Do you really?
I do.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
My
Yeah.
sister loves it. I'll make sure she finds you.
I just did a video today, actually.
Well,
it's
tell
like
us
this.
about it.
Okay, it's a little bit like this. Okay, but the gain has to be really high, but I'll just come really close to it. Okay. Hi. How are you doing on this fine evening? I hope you're doing very, very well. And I invite you to relax, take it easy, and we're just gonna make some sounds with some beautiful objects, and I'm gonna help you get to sleep tonight. So I know that sounds I know it sounds a little strange, but
Do you have one specifically for after having to get up and go to the can? That's my issue. I fall asleep, fine. It's after I gotta go to the bathroom and come back.
and then you can't go back to sleep.
Can't get back to sleep.
Okay. Well, I can make a video for that,
Please do.
But yeah, I have a channel, Ace of Hearts ASMR. If you want to check
All
it
right.
out, you can.
I love it.
It's a lot
I
of
will
fun.
do that. Okay, so Apollonia, first of all, thank you so much
Oh, yes.
for getting me in contact with these two. This is fantastic, and certainly appreciate the footwork that you did for it. Tyler and Nadia, thank you so much for your time and for your talents. Certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to be back to wrap up the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment, but what are we playing out with?
I think we'll do End of Time.
Till the End of Time.
Our love is growing. We're in the same boat and we're rowing towards the dawning of a brand new day. So keep it going, keep it going. Not any winds, not any storming could keep us from the garden where we pray. So hold me close till the end of time. Yeah, hold me close till the end of time. And I'm not gonna run
queen. You stand before me, and heaven has us blessed in would see, as every little thing falls into place, and as your heart is showing, my head can rest in peace in knowing, as together we can lift off into grace. So hold me close till the end of time. Yeah, hold me close till the end of time. And I'm not gonna run this time. Yeah, hold me close till the end of time. I don't wanna live without you. You know my heart is true. Gonna take you to the church, gonna marry you. I don't wanna live without you. You know my heart is true. Gonna take you to the church, gonna marry you. I don't wanna live without you. You know my heart is true. Gonna take you to the church, gonna marry you. I don't wanna live without you. You know my heart is true. Gonna take you to the church, gonna marry you. So hold me close till the end of time. Yeah, hold me close till the end of time. And I'm not gonna run this time. Yeah, hold me close till the end of time. My queen, our love is growing.
Sure, they have darts, and you've heard me talk about how ruggedly handsome the trivia host is, but all caps fun never stops at the Sky Lounge and Tea. And fun is best had with your friends enjoying live entertainment, as in live and local. Yeah, the Sky Lounge believes in giving you the best bands, solo artists, and comedians from the area. The Neo Johnsons, Elizabeth Hunstead, Skylar Volks, as well as many others. And a great staff will make sure you enjoy your fun at the Sky Lounge in Tea, South Dakota.
From the Dipsy Doodle Studios at the world headquarters of Big D Entertainment, a 40-square-foot home studio in the middle of America, it's Dave Holly.
Thanks again to our great guests Tyler and Nadia from Beautiful Kingdom, Apollonia Davalos, April Van Leersburg from Van Art Studio, and Crystal Richards from Cry Style Art. Thanks to the band who put the R in R Wine Bar and Kitchen, Ricardo Terabelsi, and to the wonderful staff of The Source. We recorded at both venues this week for our conversations. Thank you for listening, subscribing, following, downloading. It does mean an awful lot to us here at the Dave Holly Hour. Now, as mentioned earlier, I am in the Midtown Coffee Radio Hours live recording at Augie tonight in the back alley. Hope to see you there. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Get all of the 128 episodes online at davehollyhour.com. As Arts South Dakota says, home is where the art is. As I say, you can't have heart without art. Remember, my name is Dave Holly, and for me, every day is a holiday.
The Dave Holly Hour has been brought to you by the Sky Lounge and Tea, XL Chiropractic, Quality Nails, Ale Hop Brewery Tours, and Jesse Moffett Entertainment. If you would like to contribute to the continued success of this podcast, go to DaveHolleyHour.com. At the bottom of the front page is the additional links section. Click on the orange button, Dave Holley on Linktree. You can order merchandise, become a Dave Holley Hour VIP, and make contributions to the show. The Dave Holley Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.